Hey guys, Rob here with McDojoLife. In today's McDojo news, we're going to talk about how a 17-year-old girl was recently killed in Mexico during a boxing class after only 2 months of training during a sparring session. Let's check out the story. It was October 17th when 17-year-old Kira Rubalcaba walked into Gym Box Johnny in Mexico. It was just another day, another training session. She had been in and out of its doors for only 2 months, but she knew the faces, the rhythm of the drills, the sound of the gloves hitting the bags. It was all routine, ordinary, familiar. However, that fateful day, she was paired with a more experienced opponent for a sparring session. Rubalcaba, who had only 2 months' worth of experience, received several blows to the head. Soon, she collapsed and began to convulse. She was taken to the General Hospital Zone Number 1, where she was stabilized. But when her condition did not improve, she was transferred to Hidalgo Hospital, where advanced technology was available. She underwent immediate surgery there. However, despite the medical team's best efforts, Rubalcaba died on October 19th. After her death was confirmed, the prosecutor's office launched an investigation to understand what took place and whether the gym was involved in any negligence. Combat sports have long sparked debates over safety and risk. While the UFC has often been criticized as, quote, human cockfighting, it is boxing that has historically claimed the most lives. Among its tragic cases, Pritchard Collin, once a promising talent, suffered permanent paralysis on his left side after a single misstep by an opponent in 2015, leaving him dependent on a computer for communication for the rest of his life. Then, earlier this year, there was the tragedy of 2 Japanese talents that forced the authorities to make amends. The 2 boxers tragically lost their lives in August after sustaining brain injuries on the same card. The Japanese Pro Boxing Association was forced to vote on emergency measures, which reduced the number of bouts, keeping hydration in check, and positioning ambulances. Although details about Rubalcaba's death remain limited, sparring fatalities are far less common than those in official bouts. Her young age and limited experience brought to mind the case of Australian boxer Dwight Ritchie, who tragically died under similar circumstances while sparring in 2019. The incident has sparked a mix of grief and outrage amongst fight fans, and some directing sharp criticism at the coach. Mexico has increasingly become a powerhouse for producing world-class fighters, with stars like Canelo Alvarez cementing their names on the global boxing stage. This success continues to inspire a new generation of aspiring boxers, including 17-year-old Kira Rubalcaba. But the news today has left fans heartbroken. One wrote, "Rest in peace, warrior," while another added, "Rest in peace, so sad." There has been no official statement regarding the gym where Kira Rubalcaba was training at the time of the incident. In Aguas Calientes, home of prominent boxing facilities such as Corpus Gym, Unidad Deportiva, and Blue Bear Gym, fans voiced outrage at the perceived negligence of her coaches. Many criticized the decision to place a young, relatively inexperienced boxer in a sparring session with a more experienced boxer. One fan commented, "Negligence from the coaches. Poor baby, rest in peace." Coaches in combat sports, whether boxing, MMA, or kickboxing, understand the importance of carefully selecting sparring partners. Even elite fighters like Luke Rockhold, during his time at the American Kickboxing Academy, trained under the close supervision of experienced coaches like Javier Mendez when working with highly skilled sparring partners such as Islam Makhachev. Kira Rubalcaba's death highlights the dangers when coaches and gyms fail to follow proper safety protocols. Another fan stressed, "Do not hard spar. No need for hard sparring during regular training." Unfortunately, accidents can occur even with precautions in place. Fans reflected on the fragility of life and shared their grief. One wrote, "Why does this happen? Who knows? All I can say is, this is life. Live it the best you can. Time, right now, is literally on your side. Do the right thing with it. Rest easy, champ. Your work is complete." Another added, "May she rest in heavenly slumber." The death of Kira Rubalcaba has sent shockwaves through the boxing and wider combat sports community, raising urgent questions about safety in gyms. She now joins a tragic list of fighters whose lives were lost due to negligence in sports. Our thoughts and prayers are with her family. Let's unpack that. So the 17-year-old girl with only 2 months of experience was put into a sparring session with someone who was vastly more experienced than she was. She was hit so hard that not only did it cause her to convulse, it literally killed her. Now, I've been in the martial arts industry for 28 years of my life, And I have never seen somebody hit so hard that they literally died because of them getting hit during a sparring session. It is 110% on the coach to make sure that their students' safety is a paramount thing above all, especially above ego, which is something that creeps into our industry time and time again. When you hear people talk about bravado and about winning fights inside the gym during sparring sessions, about how hard and tough their gym is, most of those people are young or really stupid. The long-term damage that could be caused by repeated blows after hard sparring sessions not only could kill you, but it could leave you permanently disabled for the rest of your life beyond your time in combat sports, which is so limited as a fighter. It is ridiculous to hear that anything like this is occurring inside of a gym. Boxing, MMA, it does not matter. If you are hard sparring to the point where people are being seriously injured, you're not sparring anymore. You're fighting. And this poor girl had to fight for her life and was killed with only 2 months of training. How good at boxing is she going to be now? How tough could she possibly be now that she's dead? And if there's a coach out there teaching boxing, you're like, well, tough love in the gym is important. You. This brings us to the question of the day, brought to you by Academy Safe. Academy Safe's goal is to try to make sure that the martial arts industry, at least in the United States, raises the bar from having 0 regulatory bodies at all. You don't need background checks, CPR, first aid certification. You need none of that to start a martial arts school. Academy Safe is trying to encourage schools to start doing that, even though it's not required. The question of the day is pretty simple. It's based off the story, as most questions of the day are. Do you think that hard sparring is important? Do you think that hard sparring everyone should have to do? Do you not do hard sparring? What are your thoughts about hard sparring? I want to know about that in the comment sections below. As always, thank you all for the likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, and memberships. Everybody out there who's a member, you allow me to continue to do this job of calling out fakes, frauds, phonies, conmen, pedophiles, sex offenders, and cults. Most of the videos that I do, especially probably this one, they get demonetized very quickly because of the subject matter. So you allow me to continue to do these stories. I appreciate you. Keep the martial arts legit.
My baby got robbed the other day by degenerates. So she wanted to learn some new form of this self-defense. So she did her research and perused it online and found this dude said he could move shit with his mind. He called himself Seafood Paul Zimmerman. He got a dojo with a strip mall near Cinnabon. Now she spends all day trying to